Hi guys, thank you so much for tuning into Carol's Daily Sauce again. This is my third video of the day. I'm tired, you guys, I'm tired. Okay, anyway, thank you so much for tuning into Carol's Daily Sauce. We are on our 15th day of 30 Days to Taming the Tongue. Yes, y'all, we are in 2 weeks. We are 2 weeks in. So, please like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget to click on the bell to be reminded of each and every video that I upload. Please share. This is what the book looks like. This is 30 Days to Taming Your Tongue. This is a tongue fast on getting you on the right track, on getting me on the right track, on getting all of us a desire to have tongues that speaks words that are sweet like a honeycomb. This is a book by Deborah Smith Paguz, and it takes you from day 1 to day 30 of a tongue fast of correcting our correcting our wrongs in the things that we do and say, where we won't have to be like, oh my God, did I say that? So this is what the book looks like. I will definitely, most definitely, put in the description box where you can purchase that book. Let's go ahead and get in because, as I said, this is my third video of the evening and I am tired. So, on our 15th day, this tongue is a tongue that, if we're all honest with ourselves, good gracious, let me fix mine. You guys will see on these videos that I have on the same outfit, okay? Because I am actually filming, trying to get good at this filming thing, okay? When I feel good, I want to make sure that I film a lot of videos. So I feel good today. So this one is the know-it-all tongue. I think all of us have had a know-it-all tongue. But Proverbs 12:23 says, a prudent man conceals knowledge. So I said, okay, prudent is not a word that we use quite often. We don't use prudent a whole bunch. So people may say, well, what the world is prudent? Well, prudent is acting or showing care or thought for the future. So not being a, what am I trying to say? Not being a fortune teller or anything, because I don't believe in that fortune teller stuff. Tarot cards and all that's not, I'm not even into any of that. But just basically being a know-it-all, having a know-it-all tongue. Okay. Gonna ask you a few questions when I start this out. Are you one who can't refrain from giving unwanted input or even unwanted advice? Ask yourself, are you that type of person? I don't need to have those glasses on because I actually can see. This one right here is really heavy. Are you the type of person that thinks only your opinion matters? Do you regularly suggest by saying you should? I know I have, but I'm gonna tell you something. Instead of saying you should, you know what sounds better? Have you considered? That sounds a lot better. Please understand that if we fall into this category of being a know-it-all, being the know-it-all tongue, people most always will resent you. They'll probably always resent your presence, and they will do all they can to not be in your presence. Nobody likes and wants to be near a know-it-all. I don't know nobody that wants to be dealing with a know-it-all all the time. If you feel the constant need to correct, if you feel the constant need to always act as if you know the answer to or solution to a problem, It may not even be a problem, but you already know what the outcome is going to be. You need to proceed with caution. Now, I do want to tell you this. I have fallen into a know-it-all state in my life. I'm being transparent. I'm being really, really real. I don't like know-it-alls, but I know that I've been there before. Sometimes we have a tendency to think, because I've experienced this, because I'm older than this person, because I'm in it and I've done it longer than this person, I can be the dignitarian on it. I can be the one to tell them, him or her, how it's supposed to go because I've been in it longer. I was a know-it-all at one time in my life regarding marriage, and it ended up in a divorce. So we don't know everything. None of us knows everything. And if you ever are a person who finds yourself with the know-it-all tongue or with that know-it-all mentality, you really, really, really need to check yourself. If you proceed with caution in suggestions or in trying to help somebody, you may not be deemed as a know-it-all. If you want to stay in that know-it-all place, you might come off as being controlling. Or in my case, when I am in interactions with a know-it-all, you can be very annoying to me. Okay? Don't nobody want to be around someone that's always a know-it-all. I always tell people, not the person that's a know-it-all, but say that, for instance, myself and someone else is in a conversation about the know-it-all. When I'm talking to that other person, one of my most famous lines is this: nobody knows everything all the time. And when you do, or when you think that you do, you are one who is and has participated in the know-it-all tongue. That ain't pleasing in God's eyesight. Sometimes when women speak to men, we have to be careful. We have to be careful because as our husbands, as our significant others, even if you're just suggesting something, the one thing I do want to let you know, and this is just clarification in reading this book, a man ain't looking for a mother, especially if he married to you. A man is not looking for his wife to be his mother. He don't need you to tell him, well, you should or you shoulda. He don't need that. It belittles a man. And a know-it-all tongue woman should not be belittling a man. You shouldn't be belittling a man anyway. You don't want a man belittling you, so you shouldn't be doing it. Remember, though we may feel that we are extremely intelligent and that we are extremely smart, we do not and cannot know everything. I don't care who you are. I don't care how many degrees you've accomplished. I don't care how much money you make at your job. If you make more money than your husband, it doesn't matter. You do not and cannot know everything. Even if you know a situation to be right, it's prudent, the Bible says in Proverbs 12:23, to keep silent, especially for a woman. Allow someone else the fulfillment of explaining something to you, specifically a man. Don't no man want to be or having dealings, want to be in a relationship or have dealings with someone who already knows the answer to everything. No, they don't want that. Okay? Wise people don't have a need in making show of their talent. If you're a wise person, confident in who you are and who you be. You don't have to be a show-off and show, well, y'all, you know, I know this and I know that. You don't have to do that. What we have to do is not assume the role of an arrogant expert on everything. Nobody likes anybody that's arrogant. When we are arrogant and we know everything, it's a clear indication of pride. And pride is a repulsive behavior that God doesn't like. Not only does God not like pride, but people don't like it either. How do you let go of the know-it-all tongue? For me personally, when I fell into that, I noticed that when I was a know-it-all and was operating in the know-it-allism, people didn't want to be around me. I stayed in disagreements with people. So I didn't want to be in that place. You have to let people share with you what you may already know without letting them know that you know it. No, you're not being dishonest at all. You're being respectable. And in doing this, this is great training for humility and emotional maturity. It's something that simple of letting someone who knows something that you already know convey it to you without letting them know that you know. Once again, it's an act of humility and emotional maturity. Even if you are brilliant, intelligent, don't be the know-it-all tongue. Be humble. Because you know what? If you're pompous and high and mighty, you can be inferior to others. You can make others feel very inferior being in your presence. For instance, if we think about a lot of the stories in the Bible, such as the story of King Herod, pompous, know-it-all, had power, had money and riches, had all these things. He made those around him, even his followers, inferior to him. You don't want to have that personality. You don't want to have that reputation. Displaying intelligent superiority will do none other than alienate you from others. You'll mess around and be solo. You'll be by yourself. And that's what happens when people fall into that know-it-all state, that know-it-all tongue. You look up, they ain't never been married. If they have been married, they find themselves divorced. And most of them have never been married. I have quite a few people that I know, I met on jobs, I went to high school with, never been married. And one problem they have is they think they know everything. So they have a know-it-all tongue. Don't nobody know everything. Nobody. Some may look at this as you having a weakness, and they'll do everything in their power to find your weaknesses to cut your hips down to size. Is your behaving or portraying yourself as a know-it-all person with a know-it-all tongue a display of a smokescreen because you have insecurities? Ask yourself, why am I doing this? Why am I making everybody around me uncomfortable? Why am I getting into disagreements with people? Because I'm being a know-it-all. Are you craving attention because you aren't getting it? Oh, this hair is in my eye. Are you craving attention because you aren't getting it from the person that you desire it from? Think about it. We need to resist correcting, contradicting, judging, all of that. We need to correct that. We need to resist the push to be that person. Resist correcting and contradicting people. Limit your input. As I said earlier, let people tell you something about something that you already know without your letting them know that you already know. It's a sign of maturity. Not only is it a sign of maturity, but you yourself will improve your relationships with others, and they'll want to interact with you. And in their interacting with you, they'll look at it as a mutual act of you. They'll look at it as a mutual act of you and them sharing ideas. Wouldn't you want to be looked at as sharing ideas as opposed to being a know-it-all Tom? I know I do. That's it, y'all. That's it on the know-it-all Tom. I pray to God that I never fall back into that place. In reading this, I asked myself, I kind of reflected on myself being a know-it-all tongue at one time in my life. And I was like, was I insecure? Why was I doing that? Why did I feel a need to make everyone around me feel like I knew more than them? Why? I don't know. I wish I could answer it. I don't know. But I can tell you this much. Don't nobody know everything, and don't nobody want to deal with a know-it-all. So, we're going to tell you, I'm going to tell you by reading in the book, because I don't know everything. Today's affirmation. Today's affirmation is, I am prudent, and therefore I do not flaunt my knowledge. Don't flaunt your knowledge. If you know it, you know it. But you don't have to be flamboyant about it. Just know it and leave it just like that. All right, so what we're going to do is we are going to go over our day 14 of the cynical tongue. That one was deep too. I give 3 pointers from the day before. The first pointer that I want to give you guys is this. And in my giving it to you, I'm also giving it back to myself, because when I point like this, I got a thumb going right back to me. You're blessed, I am blessed, because we walk not in the counsel of the ungodly. Okay? Number 2, remember that being a clinical person can be poisonous, like snake venom. I'm sorry, I've been delivered from the fear of snakes, but I still don't want to have nothing to do with any type of snake mentality, any type of snake likeness. We are talking about a creature that literally lays on the ground and slithers from the right to the left. A snake is so coy and slick, they can't even go on the straight path. They have to go right to left. They have to slither like this. They can't even go straight. Think about it. You don't want to be deemed at as being that venomous, poisonous person. Lastly, number 3, observe your comments in various settings, in various situations, and make sure that you are not being cynical or scornful, because they hurt, they're not conducive, and you ain't gonna get nowhere being like that. So that's been it for our day 15 of the Know-It-All Tongue and the recap of day 14 of the cynical tongue. Once again, this has been inserts from out of our 30 days to taming our tongue. This is a challenge of, did I say that? Oops, I can't believe I said that. This is a book written by Deborah Smith Paguz. I will put the information in the description box if you want to purchase it and do a study on your own. We have 2 more weeks of this tongue fast. I am doing all I can to better this tongue. Today was a little challenging. When I was out and about, my husband was driving and he was kind of in and out of traffic. And so it made me a little uneasy. So I said something. And after saying it, I realized, based on his comment, I realized that I had offended him. That's not my intent. My intent was in saying, you know, stop going in and out of traffic when you're driving with me in the car. And that's how I said it. But quickly, God allowed me to see that my delivery was not the way that it should have been. I just want you guys to understand that I'm going through the tongue fast of the 30 days of taming my tongue. I hope that you guys are enjoying this content. I am really, really enjoying it. The one thing I can definitely tell you is because I am the deliverer of it, and because I chose to be the deliverer of it, when I fall out of line, because I will fall out of line, excuse me, because I am not perfect, I will fall out of line. God does chasing me quickly, because as I said, when my husband was driving and I said that, made that comment, now that I look back at it, and even when I was sitting there and I actually said it, I knew based on his comment that I actually could have said it another way. And even reflecting back on it now, I could have waited till earlier when me and him were in the privacy of our own room and said it, or I just could have simply did it another way. I'm telling y'all, this 30 days to taming your tongue, this fast, is working wonders on this here tongue. I hope it's doing the same for you. Like I said earlier in a video earlier, I'm getting wonderful, wonderful, wonderful feedback. Please put comments. Please put suggestions, excuse me, as to what type of comment or what type of content that you would like for me to bring about on this page. If it is something that I can do, I will. Thank you so much for tuning in to Carol's Daily Sauce. Thank you so much. Mwah. I love you guys immensely. Please like, comment, and share. And don't forget to click on the bell and come back often, because we're going to have some content coming up with my husband and myself, as well as me by myself, sharing some things with you that will be enlightening to you, that will be refreshing to you, that will be fun for you. I think I don't do hauls. I do hauls as far as beauty and some of my favorite items and things like that, but I normally don't do grocery hauls. But I think when I go shopping again and do a big grocery day, I am going to do a grocery haul to show you guys all of my stuff, because I have acquired a like for the grocery haul videos. So thank you guys for tuning in. I really, really, really do appreciate you. Please let somebody know about this sauce over here. The sauce over here is the Saucy-ist on YouTube, in my niche. And my niche is everything. Remember, we don't know everything, and nobody wants to be around a know-it-all tongue. God bless you guys. I'll talk to you all real soon. And happy early Mother's Day. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.